Good evening, Dharma friends. Wish you all the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. We are going to begin this evening Sutta studies. Today is December 16, Saturday. Uh, I think this is one of the Sutta studies of the two before the end of this year. So I'm so happy that I could make it. The vihara that I always sit is busy today with some other activities, so that I thought of doing it from a different location at the Hilda Javaradhanarame Buddhist Monastery. Uh, I would like to welcome you all for this Sutta studies. Studying Sutta always help us understand the Dharma, sometime which we confuse about. Sometime the Dhamma discussion based on suttas help us encourage ourselves. Sometime it help us cultivate our mind on samadhi, so that studying suttas always beneficial for us. So let us begin the sutta studies by paying our homage to the Supreme Buddha. May these venerations to Supreme Buddha help us understand the Dhamma better. And with that thought in mind, I'm going to recite the Namo Tassa 3 times. So join with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. I pay my homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, Dhamma friends, let's begin the sutta study with the selected sutta. The sutta we select today is from Anguttara Nikaya, the section number 6, and the sutta number is 55 in the section 6. This sutta is famous among meditators, among scholars on Buddhism, among devotees and people who actually understand the virya, understand the right tune of mindfulness, and also virya and panya, because the story that happened to a particular monk Sona at the time of the Buddha tells us which way we understand those important factors to be developed. So that this sutta is famous among those individuals who read suttas. Um, let me tell you how this kind of suttas is important when you are in monastic setting. This is a story from a monk who was very ardent and diligent on his practice. According to the commentary, he was a very nice person, and he was able to understand the importance of the teachings of the Buddha, so that he became a monk with so much devotion. It is evident from the sutta also, from one of his statement, so that his devotions to the order of monks was so much so that he was able to become a monk. His whole intention was to practice meditation. You can see this from today's order also. Some monks who actually came to the order tried their best to meditate, tried their best to follow the teaching, while many do not do so. So, those who have been striving so hard sometime tell us later that our effort didn't end with some success. Uh, I came across a monk from Sri Lanka while I was in Sri Lanka. I think 10 years ago. This monk was reporting his failure to one of the greatest monk in Sri Lanka, Katakurunde Jnanandathero, that he was meditating from the very morning of his day-to-day activities to the last moment. Um, so whatever he did, according to his story, didn't work for him. He was at one of the best monasteries, mountainous area. The weather is really good, no mosquitoes, no any other obligations, because he came to the order by leaving everything behind. So when I heard that story, I was sitting next to the room which Bante Katakurunde Jnanandi and this monk discussed, so that I overheard everything. And I think uh, this monk strong desire for enlightenment obstructed him to progress. Sometimes it happens. So that is being discussed in the sutta also in a numerous way. So that if you have a very strong energy to do certain things in the Dhamma and Vinaya, sometimes it may not be working because your desire to achieve certain things in the order is too much, so that your mind become agitated, restless, so that you may not be able to put your mind on samadhi, which is the quality that brings us clarity of mind. So that I have some such incident in my mind. And when if you had the chance to read the sutta today, or even before, how Venerable Sona struggled with any state of enlightenment, even though his effort was up to the even though he was practicing meditation throughout the day. So friends, this kind of suttas are very important for us. Time to time we should read this kind of suttas in order to find the middle path. This sutta tells us the middle path. This middle path uh, is not between extreme effort and also lazy, but it is finding the right tune of what we practice. So that's the introduction for the sutta. If you look at the discourse, there is an introduction for that. The Venerable Ananda is reporting us that the Blessed One was at the Rajagaha, Rajgir today, at the Vulture's Peak mountain when this happened. Um, there was no any invitation came to the Buddha from anybody else about Venerable Sona. Like in many suttas, Venerable Sona was also in the Rajgir, but in a different location called Coolwood, Sitavana. Then Venerable Sona was in meditation. At this point, the Venerable Sona uh, uh, was having some pain when this thought happened to him. It is said in the discourse, when Sona was meditating in seclusion after doing walking meditation until the skin of his soles was split and bleeding. So right now, Venerable Sona is sitting, but right before sitting, he was walking back and forth until his feet bleeding. Therefore, Venerable Sona happened kind of thought processes that I should do this and that. At this moment, Venerable Sona thought that I am one of the disciples of the Lord Buddha who strived up to the highest point. Perhaps he had heard about other monks striving. So comparatively, he thinks that I am one of them who strives so hard. And to say this to us, he had that bleeding feet. Nobody did that kind of things before. You can imagine how long he was walking, how dedicated he was walking. Maybe the soil or the sand would be hot too to make this happen. Anyway, so he said that I'm one of the monks who strive so hard to end suffering, the causes of suffering, but I now ended up with only wounds. So maybe my effort doesn't work because of lack of merits. So we always talk about this fact that sometimes we should have merits in our account to make our progress speedy. If not, we will be having a lot of problems, and we have no solutions for problem if we are unlucky, if we don't have enough merits in our account. So that even at the time of the Buddha, one of the beliefs was to do a lot of meritorious deed. And of course, it's not only a belief, it is encouraged by the Buddha also. Gibhutassapi upakarani punyani, pabbajitasapi upakarani punyani, Deva Bhutasapi Upakarani Punyani. In one of the discourses in Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said that doing merits is beneficial for monks, beneficial for humans, beneficial for lay people, and it is beneficial for even divine beings. So that monks, you should be able to do meritorious activities to make your life happy. Because we know the fact that the getting into enlightenment is like going through a small hall to another room, like it is a very difficult task. So you should have enough merits in your account to make your journey towards nirvana is easy one, so that doing merits is accepted as a good thing for nirvana, for any person who wants to achieve nirvana, because you are going to the nirvana in an easy way. So here Venerable Son, after failing from his practice, he thinks that I should go back home because I have enough materials, enough wealth to consume, to make use of for meritorious, so that I should go, and one day if I feel that I have enough merits to make my practice gain forward, I should come back. So that's the initial thought Venerable Son had his in mind. Then the Buddha saw this situation from his psychic power, from his developed mind. So we know the fact that Buddha could read others' mind. If there is anything special happen, he would definitely receive it from his skills. Otherwise, Buddha is going to know certain things like that through other monks. But in this case, there is no intervention. When the Buddha knew about Venerable Sona's mind clearly and appeared in front of Venerable Sona right there when he finished his thinking, and said that, what were you thinking? What kind of thought processes you have, Venerable Sona? Then Venerable Sona, without any hesitation, he told the whole story to the Buddha, that I didn't get anything significant from this meditation, so that I might go back home. Then the Buddha's uh, leadership, or the teacher's position is really significant. I don't think any other monks could help except the Buddha in this manner, even Venerable Sariputta, even Venerable Moggallana. So um, Buddha knew how Sona could be restrained from his knowledge. Then the Buddha asked some question, as you read through the discourse. What do you think, Sona? Before this monkhood, you were a layperson, householder. So were you skilled at playing the veena? So the Buddha know about the music and the instrument for making music, and also he knew about Venerable Sona. Then asked the question, well, you remember how beautiful that veena, and then are you able to play it? Yes. um, so I was, and I did well. Then Venerable the Buddha asked this first important question. What do you think, when the string of your veena were too taut, too loose? Were you too tight? Were your veena is in tune or playable? No. Simple answer is no, because even a child could understand that any instrument is not played well if the main item of it stream is not in proper place. So Venerable Sona said that when the string of the veena is too taut, too tight, the music, the rhythm of the music, the right tune of the music is not taken. And then if the string of the veena is too loose, that is also impossible. So that it is very clear, Venerable Sona, that keeping the string of the veena too tight or too loose doesn't make any sense. So that you have to keep the string of the veena with the middle strength, or keep it well for playing something good. Then only you can get the best music out of this veena that you use. In the same way, Sona, over-aroused persistent leads to restlessness. Overly slack persistent leads to laziness. Thus, you should determine the right pitch of your persistent, attune the pitch of the five faculties, and there pick up your theme. So, Buddha gave a kind of comparison or simile. First, to tell you the right Dhamma. Like the veena without proper way of keeping a stream is unable to use for any best music. So your mind is going to be restless if you try too tight, too hard, right? Sometimes we read books, we listen to them, we meditated a lot without taking a break. So it seems you do something physically, but at the same time, we have to ask the question whether we have done something mentally with that. So Venerable Sona was so convinced by the Buddha now. Um, um, Keep the things in the middle. So by keeping the things in the middle, you would be able to make differences or changes of your attitude, of your behavior, so that you're going to be having not no restlessness but peaceful state of mind. See, here the very important thing is the striving should be managed by wisdom or samadhi. So Samma Vayam in the Noble Eightfold Path could come up with some energy, but we have to balance it. You have to balance it. In many cases, you have physical strength and mental strength, but the but what you are doing is not wholesome, so that you don't get many things. So that, friends, we should remember that restlessness might arise in our mind if we are not putting our energy in the middle way, right? So then Buddha continues, um, dwelling alone, secluded, heedful, ardent, resolute, is he in no long time reach and remain in the supreme goal of the holy life for which clansmen rightly go, and so on. So the holy life um, is always dependent on the middle path, right practice, and we have to really keep that in mind. If you are too lazy, suppose you're not working too much due to cold weather, due to heat, due to this and that, you are not doing meditation, you are not putting your right energy into application. So then uh, your dharma practice is not going to it's not going to be progressive. At the same time, your laziness is growing, so that you may not even be able to practice Shraddha, because practicing Shraddha on the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha even decided by the way you understand things. So I think laziness is the other end. So restlessness is one end, and the laziness is another. These are with regard to the effort, perseverance. So we have to find the middle ground to make this laziness and restlessness away from us. So that Venerable Sona was taught a very beautiful teaching, and he stopped going back home. He thought that I should strive on the practice again. And according to the story and also commentary and other related background stories, Venerable Sona attained to full enlightenment very soon by taking that advice from the Buddha. And I think Buddha knew that this Venerable Sona is going to be an Arahant. That's why he came from uh, the Rajgiri itself to the Sitavana, the cool wood where Venerable Sona was striving. If he is not in a position to understand them in this way, I think Buddha may not be able to come. So anyway, we know the fact that Venerable Sona now got into full enlightenment within a short period of time. Then he thought that what if I to go to the Buddha and pay my homage, and I'm going to declare the arahantship in front of the Buddha, right? So he went there and paid the respect as usual with three bows in front of the Buddha and so on. And then he said that I think the way he said to the way he said to the Buddha that he attained to full enlightenment is quite different. You see that there is a statement that arahant is like this, and when one attains to arahantship, he doesn't have this and that because of the Dharma practice he establishes. So that is what, instead of telling I attain to full enlightenment and so on, he is telling that if one attains to arhanship, this is going to happen, that particular arhanship for him, and what he has been having now is this and that. So rest of the discourse goes on like that. With my first reading, I just want to say this. When one's awareness is dedicated to renunciation, to seclusion, to non-afflictiveness, the ending of clinging, the ending of craving, and non-deludedness. Seeing the arising of the sense media, the mind is rightly released. For that monk, rightly released, is a heart at peace. There is nothing to be done, nothing to add to what is done. As a single mass of rock is not moved by the wind, even so all forms, flavors, sounds, aromas, contacts, ideas, desirable and not, have no effect on one who is such. Still totally released, the mind is still totally released, focused on their passing away. So to conclude the discourse, this statement is given. That's what I read through. So it's so beautiful. So when one become an arahant, he or she has done certain practices, as we all know. Therefore, his mind is always inclined into peace, inclined into happiness, and so forth. So, in the Sutta, the Buddha talks about this. Even if powerful forms cognizable by the eye come into the visual range of a monk, whose mind is thus rightly released, his mind is neither overpowered nor even engaged. Being still, having reached imperturbability, he focuses on their passing away. So, here and there, the Buddha was able to talk. The Sutta, actually, Venerable Sona was able to talk what he has been experiencing now, and he wants to share it with the Buddha. He wants to share it with others, just to make some criteria. Anyhow, what is important for us from this reading is that striving should be geared by wisdom and supported by mindfulness. That is for sure. If effort is without the mindfulness and wisdom, you are not going to get anything. The something mundane could happen, but not very not very much with regard to the spiritual practice. So that, friends, what I first pick from this sutta is being right effort, and along with right mindfulness and wisdom. So that is a great thing, because sometimes we think that practicing and reading and doing things without taking a rest is good. It could be good for different reason, but with regard to attainment to enlightenment, you don't want to give suffering to this body. So the patipada, the principles for nirvana could be achieved in a gradual way. So I think Venerable Sona, according to his story, he forgot the gradual training. Anupubba Sikha, Anupubba Kiriya, Anupubba Patipada. So we should be able to have that gradual learning, gradual practice, gradual realization, slowly, step by step, we should go. Today, I mean, not today, particular day today, but in the present time, some people come and do this striving so fast, and but after some time they do not show up. That is because the lack of that proper effort supported by samadhi and sammasati. So that I think we should keep in mind that striving should be gradual for us. I'll leave you talk because a lot of good things might come from you. And there are many suttas by the name Son, but this sutta from Anguttara Nikaya section number 6 is really taking us into a very good position in realizing, in practicing Dhamma. So do not be too tight with your practice, or do not be too loose. So you have to find the balance. You have to find the middle path of it. So that is pretty much the sutta. So you can find a lot of translation uh, about this discourse. Maybe the translation of this discourse would be very tricky, because some translation are really good, some are not. Anyway, that is Venerable Sona's story by based on Sona Sutta. So if you have anything to add, you may. I think we discussed this sutta maybe a couple of months ago. This would be the second time we take due to the importance of it, so that you may be remembering anything we discussed in the previous discussion, despite the time we did anyway. So you can share your thoughts. I think Dr. Pial raised his hand. Please take your time.
Bande, another parallel sutra come to my mind in Sangyutta Nikaya, Devata Sangyutta. Devata comes and asks Buddha, how did you cross the flood? And Buddha said, I did not stay still. If I stood still, I would sink. I did not strive very hard. Like if I struggled, I would have got swept away. So by not standing still, sitting in the water, or striving very hard, he crossed the flood. So in other words, it's kind of the middle ground. I think that's what he said in that Devata Sangyutta Buddha, when the Devata came and asked. I thought that might be kind of related to this idea of
Yeah,
finding the
that's
right
true.
balance, right tune of the the string.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. Thank you for pointing that particular sutta also, because the same thing is said in a different way. So you have to balance. You have to find the balance. You have to find the right tune of your strength. If you work too hard at the very beginning, you are not going to work. You are not going to do anything at the end. It, if you run a marathon, right? So you should be able to find the right rhythm of running. Otherwise, you are going to stop running after a couple of kilometers. If you run too fast at the beginning, you are not going to make it in the middle, and of course, no one is going to the end. So it's applicable to anything, even if you in your profession, in your day-to-day life. You should find the balance of right thinking, right effort, and so forth, so that you will be doing something from the very beginning to the end, right? So
Is it fair to say that each one has a different balance? Like, I mean, you need to test it out, trial and error, see what is the right balance for your path. Like, I guess perhaps, it's a tune is different for everyone.
I agree with that. Depending on our personal character, uh, and experience and the way of doing things, the balance would be different, and and then the right tune and the uh, tune of the right effort would be different. I know a monk who actually do not meditate much, but his ability to explain the mindfulness, and also his ability to stay mindful in one posture would be remarkable.
Mm.
So we don't see him sitting for a long time and meditate, but he has managed to actually think quite nicely about everything by way of applying things or by way of investigating things. He can keep his mind calm and peaceful. It
So,
happened because in characters like everything is analyzed, they would be find that balance of mind just by evaluating, whereas some people find the calmness of the mind just by meditating. So i I told this example like things just to support you that some people need some some sort of effort to make their journey to peace and happiness, while some people need a lot of work on that, so that everything depends on the character,
yeah.
everything depends on the karma we have.
So the past, maybe your practices might be influencing this as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the question is about restlessness. So I think it's also now this Ajahn Sona, we don't know for sure, but maybe he's again like an agami, or maybe he's trying to get across to be an arahat, to get rid of the fetters or the asava. I think that was he was disappointed he couldn't get rid of the asava. So perhaps the restlessness is a fetter out of the higher fetters, which comes when you strive very hard, too hard to get rid of,
yeah,
like getting into arahatship, then the mind become restless. So very interesting why restlessness is a higher fetter. I mean, restlessness can also be taken as a very early on in the stage as a five hindrance, but this restlessness is something slightly different, right? Because of the trying to get enlightened faster, harder, and that restless, there is also as acts as a fetter to stop you.
yeah, true, very true. So restlessness, if I talk about the five hindrances, Uddacha Kukkucha is there, but when we talk about Sangyojana, um, it is uh, it is always there even for Anagami in a subtle way. So we can see that how tricky this hindrance uh, for everyone except arhants. So that we should be careful about restlessness and uh, want to know more about restlessness. Sometimes we think that we know about the five hindrances, so that no worries. But when hindrances attack us, we do not know how to tackle them. So if everybody, if all of us know how to deal with the five hindrances, we always enter into samadhi, in other words. So that when restlessness is in our mind, the mind doesn't help, the mind doesn't find anything, any good things to make the restlessness away from us, because mind is covered by restlessness. When mind is predominantly uh, you know dealing with the restlessness, the calmness may not be working well, so for many people, that's why a lot of people are unable to keep their mind.
So it's like
uh,
the moon like covered by clouds. The moon
Indeed,
is there, the stillness is behind there, but because restless or the hindrances are covering it, once you remove it, the cloud is becomes bright.
Yeah. So the basically it is interesting here that restlessness is coming from not something bad. It
Hmm.
Venerable Sona was
Trying hard.
meditating by sitting, by walking,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe by even when he is taking a rest, he must be doing something related to them. But that doesn't work for anybody.
Because the Atapi Sampajano Satima, the formula for all the Satipatthanas, Atapi is the effort or right effort you put. But without Sampajano and Satima, it's kind of hard, like to balance
Yeah,
it. If you had some Sati Sampajanya, the Atapi, you know exact effort to put. But if you keep putting effort without Sati Sampajanya or mindfulness or clear comprehension, it's hard. So all three has to be balanced to have the right mindfulness, I
yeah,
believe. Mm.
definitely. So if we talk about the practical things about this, yeah, you may take your time to meditate any time of the day suitable to you. Um, then keep in mind that you have to do other things as well in your life, like eating, washing yourself, and taking care of the place, and talking to others in the same room. um, then maybe you are a busy person with some work to be done, so do it. So even in monastic setting, you have to clean the ground, you have to see whether other monks are doing well, and you may be thinking you should think about whether we get food for today, or should we go out. So there are certain things you should do when you are in the perfect monastic setting. You have your teacher, you have couple of elderly monks, so maybe you are taking care of them, so that is a part of your practice.
Mm.
So your effort of mindfulness and keeping your mind on wisdom decide in those activities. For example, suppose you have to help a senior monk who may not be able to function like others, so that you have to get him to wash and clean his robes and things, and help him eating, so and help the monk to go to a washroom, and so many things should be done. And perhaps your meditation, you don't have a time to do sitting meditation, but the meditation you are doing with those activities with the elderly monk would be very beneficial. Why
Because
do
you're
I say?
making merit, also at the same time, you're mindful of the act
Yeah,
what you're doing.
you put yourself into a test,
Mm.
whether you have patience and ability to see the things that you never saw and have become happy. For example, you take the monks to bath, you take the monk to the washroom, and so you have to clean the monk. So these are some of the
Mm.
things that our mind doesn't want when it is with sensual pleasures, so that you can see how your mind react to those things. And so put compassion and kindness in front, so that it's a practice,
Yes.
definitely, so that uh, in as you said, in one sense you accumulate merits, at the same time you are testing your skills on
Mindfulness. Yeah.
on the noble eightfold path.
Yeah.
So if you look at the story of Venerable Pothigatha Tissa,
Yes, sir.
I think not arahants, but the other average monks didn't want to go
Mm.
and engage with any cleaning activity. Maybe Venerable Bodhisattva also did not want anyone to come and do that because of the filthy nature of the body.
Mm.
Anyhow, by the intervention of the Buddha and with Venerable Ananda, teaches us something very great. So if you Buddha said that if you want to treat me, treat people who are sick.
Thick.
So treating sick people without condition is like treating myself, your teacher, the Buddha. So by saying this, he tells monks that you have to help each other at the monastery. I'm not, it sounds like I'm not telling that uh, you should stop meditation, but you meditate. But at the same time, this kind of reciprocal relationship between monastic helps you um, helps you practice Dhamma in a more intense way, because Karmasthana meditation teaches how to be wise, how to be compassionate, how to be, in proper order of the Dhamma and Vinaya, so that not only taking the meditation subject and meditate on that, but at the same time, right thinking with balance provide us a very nice move forward in the Noble Eightfold Path. So that these stories tells us that middle path is taking care of yourself and everybody else with compassion, and practice meditation slowly, step by step. Because we are Shravaka, the disciples of the Buddha, we should have some time to test ourselves on each and every single enlightened factors. So that is what the Sutta simply say. I encourage you to be like these great disciple. Of course, we should aspire for that, because that is the path to nirvana. So we do not know how many days Venerable Sona took the time for meditation, but anyhow, very soon he was able to achieve the full enlightenment. It tells clearly that Venerable Sona find the right tune of the Dharma. He didn't actually, according to the history, he slept after that enough, and he was feeding himself enough, and he did not want to give torture to his body in seeking the pleasure of enlightenment. Right, so that is Venerable Sona's story. Maybe we may be the venerable, the similar type of people at present. So keep in mind that, like Venerable Sona, I practice the Dhamma gradually. My status of life as a layperson is not a barrier. My state of living as a monk may not be the barrier for this. What kind of barriers we have then is our own wrong thinking, our own unlimited effort could make us puzzle, confused. So that, friends, take your time and practice Dhamma day by day, and keeping your right thinking is always beneficial. It tells you which activity you do wrong and which activity is right. So your own right thinking is directing you to the right practice, so that the right tune or the middle path is easily accessible by anybody. So friends, that's Venerable Sona's story in the Sona Sutta of Anguttara Nikaya section number 6 and the Sutta number 55. So if you Google this Sutta, you can find, but be careful that there are many suttas by the name of Sona. So that the number you should remember is important. It is Anguttara Nikaya section number 6 and Sutta number is 55. Yes, Dr. PL?
Is there anyone else ask a question?
I don't think so.
Okay, I have a last comment on this. When he came back to Buddha to say that I'm an arahat, so is there anything you can get from that? He's talking about the senses, right? How
Yeah,
yeah,
he
receiving
talks
everything.
about the he talks about the uh, he talks about what the arahants always
Yeah,
you know, think of or stays on, like
yeah,
seclusion, and then let me find those
yeah. I
words.
think the sensory, like when they are stimulated with the sensors, like for the eye, or always they are thinking about passing away rather than like sitting in a back seat up. They are sitting behind, looking behind. The car is passing, so just passing away of the arising. Obviously, because it arose, but it's thinking of the passing away. I think it's a significant point there. Like always thinking about passing away. Everything
Yeah.
rise past. Yeah.
So yeah, see how arhants always deal with. They also get these sensory experiences, but their understanding is automatic. Basically, about three characteristics: whatever they see, whatever they hear, they have that sense of understanding that they are impermanent. Immediately, right there, they have that full understanding about impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self, so that there is no way of attachment, there is no way of getting hold on to, so that uh, their world or their point of view is so wholesome always. It doesn't mean that that you want to vehemently or intentionally think about it. It is always there. So yes, because why does an arahant talks about the five sensory experience? Because five senses and their respective experiences coming through could tells where you go and who you are and what you are. With regard to the arahant's observation, they are always impermanent. So that is how an arahant thinks versus other people thinks. So that seclusion, and then uh, these are the, let me see, uh, yeah, renunciation, nekam, actually here the Pali version. So nekam and renunciation, uh, vita dosa, vita moha, these are, not only thought of renunciation, but also the feeling that upadan is gone, so that there is uh, only a kind of what do you call avekadimutto, abhyapajjadimutto, and tanhakya. So the arahants feel that I am free from all kinds of um, ill will, any sort of uh, greed, and then craving, and attachment, and also ignorance. So when you know that you are away from these very big unwholesome state, your whole life is going to be very free and relaxed and enjoyable. So that is what Venerable Sona tells in front of the Buddha, that in a way he has been actually elaborating what he practiced, what he feels now, and it's going to be similar to the other arhants also, because all the arhants are the same by their uh, understanding and realization. So Venerable Shona, in a way, is doing a lion roar in front of the Buddha, because he was so struggle couple of days or couple of weeks ago, but right now he is very fully confident. He is up to the stand as an arhat, as a bhikkhu, so that his turn in front of the Buddha is really significant, and I think he takes some time to explain what he thinks about. Here you see that Sutta, the number of words the Buddha talks is less than Venerable Sona's explanation. So thank you for adding that. I thought I should simply go on that, but you pointed out it in a beautiful way that this is what arahants always think. They see the pictures, hear sounds, and smell and so on, but their reaction is always positive and with the theory of impermanence. When the theory of impermanence in one's thinking, rest of the important uh, dhamma elements also come into effect. So that's how it happens. So read the sutta again if you wish. Sona Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, section number 6, and sutta number is 55. I think you will get a lot of things. At least remember that story, because keeping that story in mind is uh, is very good for your practice, because you find the similar situation. So in a way, it is a karmasthana. This whole sutta is a karmasthana. In a way, it disclose a very deep dhamma, so that keep this thought, keep this sutta in mind always. With that in mind, I'm going to end today's sutta studies, because I'm going to have another program in 30 minutes. I should get ready for that. Anyway, may this sutta helps you today or tomorrow, any day in the future, to understand the right tune of your effort, your wisdom, your perseverance, your mindfulness, and may you all attain nirvana as you wish. Sadhu,
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 sadhu.